short skirt and a long jacket.
What are you doing, Marguerite?
I'm getting some ibuprofen.
Are you sure that's all that is?
There might be a little realtor candy in there.
Xanax. What's got the headache going?
Oh my God, short sales, Ann Jones.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Short sales. Can we talk about what that is and what they are and how they work?
And
So
what-
that
and
the
what
good
joy-
people can know about the short sales.
And the joy they might
The
not
joy and the pain.
bring to your life.
The joy and the pain.
Yeah. So it's been a week. I mean, I've had one of those weeks where I have one that's lingering and one that's going to closing.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is a good candidate for a short sale?
Well, I think
As a buyer.
first we should just start and just tell the people
what
what a
does a
short sale
mean?
is.
Sure.
Okay, so short sale means that it's a really fast transaction, right?
Oh, another realtor joke.
No.
Short doesn't mean short, and you've probably heard of these.
So a short sale is basically like, let's say I bought a house in 2005 for $300,000, and that house is now worth $200,000. Wah wah wah. And I owe $250,000, and it's only worth $200,000, or let's say I owe $300,000. It's only worth $200,000, and I need to sell it because I'm moving to Texas or
my family.
Poughkeepsie.
Hopefully not.
No, I don't even know where that is.
Or my family's grown, or I need to move on.
You need to
Something's
move,
happened.
but you can't sell your house for as much as it's worth. So then what you do is you do a short sale.
Hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to get permission from the bank to sell the house for less than they are owed.
Who in the realtor lingo is the lien holder.
Yeah.
So when you're hearing conversations, or maybe your agent's
Subject to
explaining
lien
it,
holder approval.
that's the dangerous phrase. Yes.
Yes. So that means that when you're going to put your house on the market, and then someone's going to bring an offer, and
Right away, right? Like the first week, somebody's going to bring you an offer.
at some point someone's going to bring you an offer.
But it could be.
It could be a while.
months.
And in the meantime, depending on the situation that is causing you to have to sell your house short to begin with, you may or may not be current with your payments. And that's a whole other thing. If you're going to list your house in a short sale, you're going to have to demonstrate to the bank that you have a financial hardship. And I mean, the interpretation of financial hardship is fairly fluid. I mean, a new baby can be a high financial hardship. But if you're a baller and you got ADGs in the bank,
You're in trouble because they're going to want your money.
They're going to be like, why are we taking a $50,000 hit or a $100,000 hit if you have all this money? So you're going to have to fill out a ton of paperwork with the bank. And that's the thing that I don't think a lot of people are prepared for when they do a short sale, is that there is a lot of paperwork.
And for each seller, I mean, the seller and the buyer situation on short sales are extremely different. So it's important for buyers to know that the sellers are going to have to go through all of this trouble, because one of the ways that I might vet out a potential short sale for a buyer would be, how cooperative is the seller?
Yeah.
How organized are they? How responsive are they? Do they have access to a fax machine or a scanner or something so that they can get all this documentation?
Because there's a lot of
To their
additional
agents.
requests. Oh, we didn't receive that. Oh, we want that again. Oh, we want that updated. So just so you know, as a buyer with a short sale, like, there's a ton of paperwork on the seller end. And all sellers are not created equal, and all listing agents are not created equal. I mean, personally, and I don't actually know where you fall down on this, Ann Jones, so I don't know if I'm about to stick it in my, but I think that you should only list with a short sale specialist. I personally am not a short sale specialist. If my mother had to short sell her house, I can think of 3 people that I would be like, you need to talk to these guys, because that's what they do day in and day out. The process of being a seller's representative in a short sale is a completely different skill set.
It is not like selling your house in a normal transaction. No. And the part as a buyer that you really need to be prepared for is that you are going to write what you think is a full price offer, and that list price on a short sale property is not necessarily what the bank is going to accept. And that's a really hard thing to get your head around when you could walk into another property in the market, write a full price offer, and albeit in this market you might still get beaten out.
Because as far as the bank's concerned, a full price offer is that $300,000. It's not the $200,000 that you're coming in with. It's not the market price of the property.
But it also,
so they have to think about it. They have to send an appraiser out. They got to check it out.
Yeah, and they don't. The banks don't typically work with the seller in advance. So you might think, oh, they've contacted the lien holder, which is the company that has the mortgage on the property, and they have come up with this list price, and this is what they'll accept if someone offers it. But they haven't. Typically, they won't actually even communicate with the seller and their listing agent until an offer is on the table. And there are some exceptions to
Yeah,
that.
some
There's a
banks
lot
have
of
gotten much
exceptions.
more organized, but with others, I mean, like the first word they're getting that there's a problem is your offer, your
Right.
$100,000 short offer. So they're not in the best mood. So I want to talk about also like price approval and also kind of how I brief my buyers on what this is all going to be like.
Okay.
Because let's say you know, the bank is playing ball, or there was an offer before your offer came in, and the bank has already said, okay, we're going to take $225, and so the realtor moves the price up from $200 on the market back up to $225 because that's the price the bank has said. This is what we will take. They'll put a note in the file in the agent remarks of the listing, and they'll say price approved at $225. And that's a little bit better because you know at least the bank has seen it, the bank knows that there's a problem and that they're okay with $225.
But you have to take approved with a grain of salt because there's a long way from approved to closed.
So I had this thing happen where my clients, it was a friend of mine was the listing agent and the house was beautiful and I showed it to my clients even though we had the conversation about short sales were stressful and they wanted to move a little more quickly. But this one was price approved. And not only was it price approved, a buyer had just made an offer. The closing date was like 40 days out.
Yeah.
And the bank had approved that offer, that exact offer. So, but then the buyer backed out. So we made the exact same offer with the exact same closing date thinking, boom, we're going to have a 40-day short sale. So then the bank took like 2 weeks to approve it. Oh, okay, it's going to be escalated. Just going to be another month. Just going to be another 6 weeks. And then you know what happened after we waited for 3 months? That bank got bought out by another bank, and they said, hey, can you start your entire application process over? This place is no longer price approved. Which brings me to the other thing I always tell my clients. This is what I tell my clients, and I don't know if this is appropriate to say on TV, but I'm going to say
But
it.
you're going to say it anyway.
I say it's going to suck out your soul. Short sales are going to suck out your soul. It's going to suck out my soul. It's going to suck out your soul. So it better be the house of your dreams.
And that is the one exception I think you can make, which is if it is a really unusual, really special property, if you have the temperament to wait this out.
You're not in a hurry?
Because I'm not kidding. I mean, most people who tell you they're not in a hurry, they're in a hurry. And after a month or 60 days.
Or 11 months?
Right. I mean, I would say 6 to 9 months in a lot of cases is a possible timeline.
I had an 11-month short sale this year that foreclosed in the 11th month. They didn't even call us. they weren't like, hey, you want to buy it on the courthouse steps? They just closed. 11 months of patience and paperwork and duty and signatures.
And they do not care about your feelings.
They do not care about my feelings.
But keep in mind that if you write an offer on a normal sale, you're typically going to have an answer as to whether or not your offer is accepted in 24 to 48, maybe 72 hours on the outside.
Yeah.
If you write an offer on a short sale, you actually are not going to know if it's accepted.
Months.
Until the end, basically. And then you close it in 30 days.
Yeah, and then there's all the lovely surprises that happen with short sales. Oh, hey, there's a $1,200 utility lien. That's on you, buyer, because we're not doing that. We didn't agree to that. We didn't know about that.
So there's the best way to define it is that there are a lot of rules that bend with a short sale. There's
we
a
can't
lot
even,
of
like, we would
standard.
have like a 45-minute video here trying to tell all
We
the
already
crazy short sale stories, all the weird things that popped up. So with short sales, be ready for the unknown. Take your Xanax and just be ready for a choppy ride.
And ask, I think there are some good questions you can ask up front.
Is it price approved?
Yeah, I mean, how many lien holders are there? Is there a first and a second and different people to satisfy? How engaged is the seller? Have they missed a mortgage payment? Is an auction date already scheduled?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a variety of things. Is there an actual hardship that they're going to be able to prove to their lien holder?
Yeah.
There's a few things that you can do to kind of get a feel, and even then, there is no guarantee. So just go into it knowing that and be aware.
I want a girl with a short